Welcome back to the Alex Helton Real Estate Show. Obviously, Alex is here. I'm Sam Dahl, and we've got for you the March market update, stats and info from February. Before we get into the numbers, though, I want to mention Adam Darby with State Farm. If you want to honestly just get confirmation that you're not overpaying for auto, home, and he's got a couple other insurance products as well. It never hurts to get a second opinion. We've both done that and both benefited from it. So
it's true.
I would encourage you to call or email. We'll put the info on the screen there. Adam, just to get a second opinion. He's not going to try to, oversell you or anything. And then Rob Smith, Mortgage Investors Group. We worked with Rob for a long time and is one of the most valuable resources that we've found when it comes to anything mortgage. So if you are considering a move and just want to start the conversation of what could I functionally afford in my budget, which can sometimes be different than what do I technically qualify for, Rob takes a extremely helpful approach to those conversations. So reach out to Rob for anything mortgage related, Adam for anything insurance related. And Alex, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome back.
I'm good today.
That's all we can ask for.
I mean, it's sunny
We'll worry
outside.
about tomorrow.
Yeah. Blue skies out, high 60s. It's hard to beat.
Yeah, you should be golfing, it sounds like.
I should be.
We'll have to try this from the golf course sometime.
That'd be good. See
how
bad we are.
February, some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Different. Give us a summary of the numbers here, and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I can jump in and go through all the numbers, but I think for us the big takeaway is really what's going on now and what are we expecting in several months to come. Mm-hmm. And it seems like median prices, have, you could call stagnated, you could say stabilized. They're essentially staying about the same as they have been over the last couple of months, not going down, not going up. And so it feels like we're in a balanced market, like things aren't going way up, way down. It feels just totally different though. Again, we've talked about this, is that, with there being so many less transactions, it just feels different in the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if we were in a different time, similar transactions, doesn't feel like we're accelerating.
Yeah.
Which is we've been doing for a long time.
And we talked about who are the people that are moving, mm-hmm. and a vast majority of our clients are relocating. Mm-hmm. So they're moving in or they're moving out. Mm-hmm. And so even that to me feels different. Like typically I know I have friends and that sort of thing that are sort of moving for a different school system or more space. And even that just feels a little bit different because most of those folks are just kind of, hanging on to their interest rate, or they just don't have this strong need to move. And so even that just feels different, like the kind of clients that, that we're working with in their situations. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's jump in to the real estate weather. February stats. So here we are in Davidson County. Closed transactions over last year are down 32%. The median price is up 1%. Again, that's February this year over last year, which is really interesting.
Here we are. We've crossed paths with last year.
Yeah. So, and we'll go through more of this in detail, but when you think about how these numbers are going to show up in the next few months, and when we think about last year, what interest rates were doing and what they were expected to do, there was this massive surge of transactions and competitive situations where people were really paying over list price, that sort of thing. So what's interesting is that really when you look at month over month in February, if you wanted to call this appreciation, you're at 1%. But what's going to happen is what happened in between. In other words, this wasn't steady. It went way up and then it backed off some.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably went up, 9 to 10% in a very short window of time, say the 6 months following this, and this is going to show up in our coming videos. And then prices have since backed off that.
Mm-hmm.
So
especially March through May was just like, I think May was the peak, if I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, just like straight up, scaling a cliff.
So that's interesting. In Williamson County, month over month, you've got closings are down 20%, and median price is down just a touch, 1.5%. Again, it's just interesting when we dig into this, when Sam and I dig into this offline and we talk about what's going on in the market, what does this mean for an individual home? We're sort of asking and trying to analyze the data and then also say, how does this square with our experience, both like immediately and over time? And so it's, so if somebody asks the question, has my house dropped? Mm-hmm. Let's just pretend I'm in Franklin and I have a $800,000 house a year ago. Has my value dropped 1.5%?
That's what everyone's asking. They don't really,
I don't care about
as they are, they don't care about their neighbor's house.
Right.
They care about my house.
Exactly.
Did I just lose $12,000 on my net worth?
Yeah. And in a general sense, I think that is true. And then we dig into the case by case, though, and we start asking, okay, if transactions, now let's go down to Davidson County, and this conversation will flow a little bit. So in Davidson County, over the last 3 months compared to the same period last year, transactions are down 35%. Median price is up 6%. I love that. That feels healthy. That feels like a little bit of a healthy growth, a little bit over the historic 3 to 5, 4% range. But man, if we saw that over the next, say, 24 months, that would be fantastic. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to see that over the next 6 months, again, because of what happened between, as Sam pointed out, March and May last year. So median price in Williamson County, we're down 1.5%. Closings here are down 35%. Median price is up 6%. In Williamson County, 3-month period, transactions are down 26%. Median price is up 11%.
And we've talked about this. 3-month window is it's a better sample size.
It is.
It's less victim to,
sure,
different factors. So we usually want to go with 3 months, but we can see trends happening month over month as well.
So we were talking about the 1.5%. I don't care about my neighbor's house. I don't care about his value. I care about my value. Has my home dropped? And so we were talking offline, when transactions are down 35%, one of the questions is, so what homes are selling and what homes aren't selling? And really buyers don't want project homes. Mm-hmm. And so in the height of the market, so let's say April of last year, the homes that don't have projects, that have been well maintained, maybe the fixtures have been updated and some plumbing's been updated and it's been painted and it's staged and it just looks really good. You're not going to have trouble selling, but even doing those things is going to help that home sell for more money, even in the best market. Mm-hmm. And those same principles apply now to say, these are the things you do to separate yourself from your neighbor who's selling their home. And these things help you to sell where your neighbors does not sell.
You're basically leveling up over your context in both situations.
You look better than the competition. Mm-hmm. So, little bit of a plug. Our team really enjoys guiding people, counseling with people on if you're looking to sell in the next 3 months, 12 months, and you haven't, if you're like us and you got kids, like some things don't get done to the house that should get done. And we can help you with that, just to say, walk through the home and help you make a checklist of how to prepare the home for sale so that you look better than the competition. So new listings. So we have added, this is a new feature to our market data, and we're going over new listings. So that is, those are just homes that are new to the market. Those are not new construction homes, although they may be. Those are new builds and existing homes that are new to the market. Mm-hmm. Homes for sale would be both new listings plus homes that are still for sale that have not yet sold, and maybe they've been on the market now for more than 30 days. Pendings would be homes that are under contract, scheduled to close, and they're going through a process of removing contingencies. So with new listings, we've got year over year, we're up 11%. Homes for sale is up 10%. And these things are going to play into, and then pendings are down. So number of homes that are going under contract is down 43%. So all these numbers are sort of tied together with new listings and homes for sale, as well as pendings. That's going to impact our inventory. We have shared with you all periodically that really a 6-month supply of homes is what's considered a balanced market. Prices aren't going up, prices aren't going down. So technically, in all price ranges in Davidson-Williamson County, we're still in a seller's market. I would say when we start hitting 4, especially if you look at the direction of the inventory and how fast it's going, it may technically be a seller's market, but feel like a buyer's market. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's where we're at, though, because these are creeping up. They're not going up. The number of months of inventory in Davidson-Williamson isn't going up at a rapid pace.
Mm-hmm. Which it probably won't, but these numbers do make you wonder, like, there's more homes coming to the market than we've seen in last year, mm-hmm. and there's a lot less people buying them.
Yeah.
So you kind of wonder, are we going to just see the gap continue to creep up, which would be reflected in the inventory?
Yeah. Another thing to point out that we said last month and for a couple months is that the first quarter of 2023, in my opinion, is probably the worst time to sell a home in a long time, like several years. Mm-hmm. I've talked to other agents that disagree with me. They think now is a good time to sell. I guess maybe just because it's always a good time to sell if you need to sell. I don't know. But relative to last year, and my belief is still that between January of this year and May is sort of the period where you can get a good deal on a home. There's not a whole lot of buyer competition. However, we are still seeing multiple offers on some homes. So,
and those homes that are improved and stand above,
yep.
It makes sense that if you have 2 buyers, they're both going to want the nicer home. So multiple offers. That second buyer who loses out may or may not decide to stay in the market and settle for a lesser home. But
yep.
the right homes are selling, just not as many of them.
Yep. In Williamson County, new listings are up 6%, and the number of homes for sale is up 41% year over year. Pendings are down 44%. And then inventory, if you'll notice, everything under $1 million in both counties is under 3 months, and then over $1 million in both counties is approaching 4 months. So what are we going to see? We usually don't have really specifics of what we're going to see up here each month, but because last spring was what it was, we're sort of anticipating what these numbers are going to look like. And frankly, I think they're going to look kind of scary on the board. They're going to look kind of scary on the board.
People are going to be alarmed and they're going to freak out. None of our watchers and listeners.
Of course.
But
because they're educated.
people.
What I was thinking about is that it is going to look scary on here, but it's not going to feel any different. So in other words, we've already experienced what's going to show up on the board. We've already experienced, in my belief, a vast majority of the scaling back. Again, for several months, we've been saying, man, it feels like prices have gone down 10%. And I think what we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 months is we're going to see that number, in fact, is about 8.5%. So, I mean, when you have homes for sale in Williamson County up 41 and pendings 44, that inventory can't help but to go up. Again, right now, right? So 30 days ago when we did this for January, rates had dipped below 6% on a 30-year mortgage. Now they're back up to just a touch under 7. Okay.
Fed meeting is later in the month.
Yeah.
We'll see what that does to the rates again.
Yeah. So the expectation is that, again, interest rates improve, and that when interest rates improve, it improves buyer demand. So I think that there's this window of time where people are sitting on the sidelines. We talked offline about what's going on in the market. Like, what am I and what is our team experiencing? I'm experiencing people not buying good deals. I mean, these are like great homes that have been reduced to a price that it's artificially, in my opinion, artificially low. And that's not to judge the decision. I get it. It can feel scary, and you're looking at this window of time. And then when I look at where the market has been and where I think it's going to be in 12 months, 36 months, I'm like, man, you have no competition. You have this home that 5 years from now, I think you would say, I'm so glad I made that decision. So that's a wrap on February market stats.
Yeah. So you mentioned the kind of homes that are selling. You mentioned that primarily, we're seeing a lot of relocation, some first-time home buyers. We're not seeing nearly as many kind of move across town type clients. So anyway, any last things you kind of want to share, sum up before we wrap this one?
No.
Feel good? Feel like we covered it?
I feel like we covered it. So
if we didn't cover something that you want us to talk about, definitely let us know. You can drop a comment below the video on YouTube, or email us, send us a message. We of course appreciate if you would like the video, like the podcast, subscribe.
Do all the things.
And, share it with somebody that you think might find it helpful as well. So until next time, let us know if we can help.
See you next month.